There are consequences.
Hey, that's what I said. That's a form of freedom of speech. Not all speech is verbal.
So I mean, that's what I mean. Like, you know, you could go up there and say, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck your sister," but when homeboy whip your ass, you're gonna be like, "Well, I can say what I want." Yeah, you can say what you want.
Say what you want.
But I can do what the hell I want too. I'm gonna whip your ass.
That's true. So what they really need to push is what the country needs to really push is just liberties. Like, you had liberty to do a whole lot of stuff. Just understand that there are rules when it comes down to it, because there's no such thing as free speech, because you can get arrested for that. There's no such thing as freedom of religion, because nowadays they're trying to kick niggas out of the country for it.
Yep, and if you're a Muslim, you're wrong. Something wrong with you.
Freedom of press. There's no such thing as freedom of press, because the moment you post the truth, I swear to God, if you ever posted anything on Facebook or said anything on Facebook and they limit it and they put you in what's called Facebook jail, there's another.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
I've heard about Facebook jail.
And all of a sudden your account gets deactivated for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, freedom of expression. They say freedom of expression, but but I can't walk around the streets naked if I want to.
I don't see why not.
You get arrested for public indecency.
I will only be offended if it was a bunch of dudes doing it, or a bunch of old Gabby Citabays walking around. Then I'll be really upset. There need to be a law now. But I mean, yeah, something else here. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just to kind of go back to the whole the point about nigga. Where the fuck did I put my cell phone? Whatever. Some people just don't understand just how words work. Like, words go through a semantic change as time goes on, and through some social circles and some cultural circles, that word can mean something totally different. So, like, whenever I'm hearing something, I'm listening for context whenever they're saying it. So, like, from whenever a white person comes to me, like, there's a friend, Logan, and for some reason, I don't know what it is about Logan, but for some reason, it's like whenever he comes around me, it's like I turned the faucet all the way, and he's like dropping nigger like every 20 words. There's like 10 of them is just nigger. And I'm like, do you like?
You answer this prayer. He's like, I can say it. There's nobody gonna beat my ass, and I can say it.
And I'm just like, whatever, man. You can say it as much as you want. I don't care. He don't mean bad by it. But
I honestly don't give two shits. Like, a lot of people will say, like, all right, this actually happened twice. I'm not joking. I'm playing football, and we had practice one day. This is like my sophomore year in college or whatever. And one of my white teammates, he was born here, raised here in Beaumont. We went to Westbrook.
Oh, I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we at practice or whatever, just chilling, talking or whatever, and he just, like, the N-word just flew out of his mouth. Now we looking at each other like, but we didn't get mad. Like, nobody got mad. We didn't even check him on it. I think it's because we didn't care. Once you start to care about something and it starts to offend you, you give it power. So if nothing ever makes you mad, nothing really has power over you. If nothing can change your emotions, it doesn't have any power. And, that could be positive or negative or whatever, but like I said, if it don't change your emotions even a little bit, then it has no power. This same thing happened my senior year in college with another white teammate of mine. Cool dude, he cool as shit. And he said it. And I thought to myself, okay, this time I think I'm going to check him. But it was like nobody else was checking him, and I knew the guy. Like, I knew him really, really well. So I was like, you know what? He probably ain't even saying it maliciously. Even if he is, he ain't saying it to me. I'll be damned if he does. But he knew better. And that's just how it was. Like, you can't give power to certain things. That's why, hell, I got called. And Q, you saw this on my Facebook feed. I got called a house nigga before, and I got called a coon and a house nigga. Now, this is where I really start to get upset. Because it didn't upset me the first 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be goddamn if you gonna call me a coon and a house nigga too many more times before I slap the shit out you. It's like, all right, bro, you got away with it that time. You better be lucky we on Facebook and we Facebook talking, because if you was in my face and you calling me a house nigga, first off, I'm finna check you on it. And if you keep doing it, then I'm probably gonna have to knock your ass out, because I ain't finna be too many more of them. You know, and you taking what I'm saying out of context.
Oh.
Dude gonna tell me, man, look, man, you can't, man, you a coon, or that you go to a house nigga talk thinking that white people can be cool with you. It's like, white people can be cool with me because they respect me.
Like,
just because they don't have no respect for your broke ass don't mean nothing.
I feel like, there's different types of white people. Yeah, you got those bigoted ones out there that you like to slap the shit out of. But you got some who actually have a moral ground on themselves.
That's true.
Now you also got, because I remember I told one, I said, I don't think all of them are racist, but I think you would have been brought up in a racist system to where there are certain code words that were opening. Like one of the buddies I work with, he always, one of his biggest things was always affirmative action and things like that. So I told him, I said, okay, I hear you, I understand, but I said, do you think that if as soon as you hear affirmative action, or as soon as you hear that a black guy got a job over you, the first thing you think is affirmative action and not skill? Is that not a problem? And he had to really think about it, because I was saying, I was like, they set up code words for you to think about. And then I said, let's think about this. All you have learned from us is the small, minute of information they provided to you, which happens where our history started when we got here. So if you learn that a person has been brought up in only captivity, there's going to be somewhat of a lack of respect for them. To an extent. You're like, okay, I respect them, but these dudes was in chains a few hundred years ago. I don't know if I can really respect that dude like I would respect the guys that was in charge at one point. But that's also, like we said, people don't even look at the entire history. Not every black person was a slave. Actually, not all of them were shipped over here from Africa. You have people who are already here. But that's a story for a whole nother time. But,
you go. There you go. But you're right, man. It's I don't know, bro. The way I see a lot of it is, I can't blame, and I won't blame New Age white folks for being ignorant towards the plight of the black person and their white privilege, because they don't know that that's a thing. Sometimes you have to educate them on how that's a thing. It's like, dude, this is how, if I have to explain to you, and there's some white people that be like, some people will be like, man, white people just won't get it. White people just won't get it. Well, tell them. If they have a question, don't look at them crazy and be like, man, you'll never understand, even if I did explain it to you. Try them. Some of these motherfuckers do understand. They get it. And one of the main people who did get it, people didn't vote for.
Bernie.
I'm sorry, but the last time I saw, there was a picture of him handcuffed to a black woman, and he went to jail with him. He probably got out before she did, but I mean, it is what it is. He's not responsible for the fact that he's white. He can't change that. I can't change the fact that I woke up black. You know what I mean? I can't be like, man, I'm finna feel like being Cuban today. I don't know shit about being Cuban. But I know everything there is to know about being a black man in this society. You know what I mean? And they'll try to, and the fact that everybody be like, man, the education system is rigged and all of this old stuff. It's like the education system ain't rigged. The education system was never made for you. Tell me this. Back in the civil rights movement, right? So that'd be like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. When they finally started integrating schools, they took a bunch of the smartest black kids they had and put them in these white schools, right? What about the white kids? Why didn't they take 5, 6, 7, 8 of the smartest white kids and put them in any of these black schools?
Because it would have been a riot. Hell, Beaumont's a prime example of that. Hebert was shut down, and everybody was bused to then Westbrook.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And it's crazy, man, because it's like, yo, you take all of our black kids, and this is what I truly believe the civil rights movement was really all about. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It ain't have shit to do with integration. It had nothing to do with black people wanting to use the same stuff that the white people use. It ain't had nothing to do with that. What it really had to do with was civil rights. That's it. I want to be treated just like the next person. I don't really want to go to school with y'all. I really, really don't. What I want, though, is if I'm in America, I want to be treated. If I'm a black man in America, I want to be treated like a white man in America. Even this white dude who lives next door to me, I want to be treated like him. But I won't be, because all that's going to happen is y'all going to start easing these white people in and phasing us out because we can't afford the same shit they got. And before you know it, that's how that works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What they call gentrification. Yeah. And that's how that stuff works, man, because it's gentrification, cultural appropriation, all of that stuff, man. But education is the main thing, because if I can control your mind, I can control you. That's why people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, they hated Ali. They hated him for real.
Oh, you see what they did to Ali? They broke him down.
They hated Ali. The only time they was, oh man, Muhammad Ali, he's the greatest boxer ever lived. He was one of the greatest guys in the world, was when he was too old to say anything and do anything, and now he dead. Now everybody look at him because he's not a threat. And I swear, if Blake was on, I'm pretty sure I'd tell him the same thing. I am literally a threat to his very existence.
Hey, I mean, it's
as a black man, like, and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. As a black man, if he has, let's say he's an older guy and he has a white daughter. If I had a baby with his daughter, that baby the baby that we have is no longer just white. So with that being said, now I'm a threat to his existence, because that's one of the things that they trying to get rid of us for, because if they don't keep their race pure, and that's why you see white people who have sex with their own family members the most.
Hey, that actually streams back from old medieval times. Eric, man, go ahead and jump in here, man. What you got?
Well, I don't think that you're a threat to his existence. Not for him personally. Like I don't think Blake cares about something.
Well, not Blake personally, no.
Not Blake personally, but the
he's talking about the collective.
The Caucasian race, or Caucasian ethnicity is what I'll call it.
Yeah,
but it also depends on what their sense of community is, because like for me personally, like I used to, like many years ago whenever I was in high school, I used to actually feel a sense of community, within the black people, within the black culture, even though I'm a mixed breed. But as I got older and I got put in these situations where I was like the only black person out in like a group of white people. And I was just always put in these odd situations. Like I don't really look at myself as just like a member of just one particular community. I just look at myself as just like a member of like